Hey everybody, I hope you're all feeling good, creative, and enjoying yourselves. I came up with a new idea, or a fresh idea, for a new video while I was fulfilling some promises today, and it's to again extol the virtues of having a beautiful little tailor's ham in order to work with your sewing projects when it comes to sleeves. So I've been working on this lyocell t-shirt for a friend of my auntie's, and I just installed this sleeve. This stuff is kind of nice and stretchy, and when you install the sleeve, you have to actually stretch the sleeve a little bit in order to get it to fit in the armhole. And the armhole is shaped like a U going upwards, and the cap of the sleeve is more like a lowercase n. I'm gonna bring you down and you can see what I'm talking about. So we need to attach the sleeve to this armhole. Right sides together, and I've got my shoulder seam marked, the back, the front, and starting flat. I love these wonder clips. They're especially nice for this lyocell stuff because the pins kind of just don't cut it. And so now that we've got the seam marked, we just need to pull this around and pin it or clip it like that. And now what you're supposed to do is stretch it to pin it. And it can get a little fiddly and a little floppy and a little weird, and all that floppiness and weirdness is going to show when you try to run it through the machine, unless you have a tailor's ham. Then you can pull that over and find the center between these two clips now. You kind of just lay it down nice and pull on this until you get to where you think it should go. There we go. So we can actually stretch this out a little bit. In the or like it would go over a shoulder perhaps, and be nice and neat. So there we go. Ooh, okay. So now I kind of know where the middle is again. So I'm gonna get another pin, clip, I mean. And now between these two, you know what? I don't need to be cheap with the pins. I think they come 100 to a box. So I'm gonna put 2 in between here, because the more you clip, the more you pin, the easier it is for the fabric to remember that that's the shape you want it to be. Pull it a little bit. Because when we're running this through the machine, we don't want to stretch it out too much, or otherwise we're going to get puckers. So there we go. We've got the back attached, and it's stretched out pretty nicely. It's actually, these clips look intimidating, and I thought they would be wasteful at one point because, more plastic, what crap. But they're actually better than pins for the most part, I think now, because 1, if I drop them on the floor, they're easy to find. 2, when I have delicate fabrics like this, they can hold the fabric nice and steady, unlike pins, which can slip out of stuff like this, you know? I mean, these are like miniature binder clips, and who doesn't love binder clips? So you do the same thing on this side. Flop it over, pull a little bit until it gets to be nice. This will work with regular woven fabric as well. It's especially nice for when you're trying to fit your gathered sleeves, for when you make puffed sleeves and you gotta do all that gathering to fit. That's what we're doing. Except actually, you know, with the stretch fabrics, we're stretching to fit a little bit instead of using gathering stitches. So there we go. Now I can try to run it through my machine. I might actually be able to move my camera so that you can see what it's like to sew. Let's see, if I turn it around this way, I'm probably not going to be able to get much light. I'd have to move the light again. Let's see, can I move this down a little bit? That's as low as this stand will go, but actually I think, yeah, I think you guys can see that. Okay, let's give it a shot. With this lyocell stuff, I like using a relatively short stitch. It's a zigzag. It's 1 and 2.5 long. So I'm just gonna tuck that under there. See, I'm not stretching it right now. The fabric has actually, you know, pre-stretching it and having it all nice and even, it kind of just wants to stay slightly comfortably stretched. We're just guiding it through the machine. We don't really want to push or pull, or because that's where we make mistakes. Pushing and pulling, and we get all these weird stretched out seams. You can't always, you know, when you're doing this kind of thing, you're not going to sew fast. It's probably not a good idea to sew fast, unless you're just, you know, so good at sewing now that you've done this a million times, or maybe you've made 6 of these blouses at the same time and you've gotten the hang of it. But there is a bit of fiddling. I'm getting close to the, oh yeah, here's the shoulder seam. You have to keep adjusting to make sure that it lays nice and flat. If you can feel a wrinkle, don't sew the wrinkle down, or otherwise you're gonna have a wrinkle in your seam. And double check, I think it moved a little bit. It did, a little bit. Let me pull you back into shape a little bit. I like the music in this file. It sounds like Rimworld. Outer Space Odyssey. Okay. So let's see. Looks nice on this side. Looks pretty great, I think. Yeah, do you see it all? I think you can see it all. Yeah. Yeah. No wrinkles. No wrinkles. Ooh. I missed a little there, but you know what? I think that'll be okay. This stuff doesn't fray, and there's just enough there where it'll be fine. No problem. No problem at all. So there we go. Pretty little round seam. Why you need to have a tailor's ham. Make yourself a tailor's ham. Pretty easy.